mai ki Aotearoa ki te whenua ātāhua.
Welcome to the country that cares, where our ancestors navigated the ocean to seek new lands. It's a land where our history unites us. Welcome to Aotearoa, New Zealand, the country forged by ingenuity.
Wow.
Welcome to a land that cares for us, because we care for her. Welcome to a country that continues to innovate with care. Where ancient wisdom has taught us what is the most important thing in the world? It is people, it is people, it is people. Welcome to the country where the landscape connects with you. Where we stand on ancient glaciers and golden beaches. Welcome to a country whose cities are alive. Welcome to a country where learning is embraced. And our manuhiri, our visitors, are welcomed. Partnerships are trusted.
And memories are never forgotten. Nau mai ki Aotearoa, New Tireni.
Welcome to Aotearoa, New Zealand.
Aotearoa New Zealand wants you. We're looking for people to live and work in our amazing country. New Zealand has an incredible lifestyle. You can be hiking in the morning and swimming in the afternoon. That means you can try new things and meet new friends. Or you might prefer something more relaxing. So why live and work here? Though the lifestyle is great, it's really the people that make it special. We're a young, growing country that loves welcoming others with open arms. It's the Māori spirit of manaaki with which we embrace others. And we're proud to share our home with you and your family. And it doesn't matter where you're from, you'll fit right in. There are more than 160 different languages spoken here. So what about the work? New Zealand is one of the easiest places in the world to set up and run a business. We're home to multinational finance, tech, utilities, construction, infrastructure and corporates. In fact, most global businesses have a presence here. There's a booming digital ecosystem and an entrepreneurial culture. We're well connected to the world and uniquely placed to take advantage of multiple time zones. We have thriving international cities, but you're never too far away from this. New Zealand has bold goals in climate change. We care for the environment, the planet and our people. And best of all, it's safe. If you're bringing a family, New Zealand is a wonderful place to live and learn. In fact, our universities are amongst some of the best in the world. But really, the biggest reason to live and work here is that we're a young country with bold ideas, looking for people who want to do right by the world. Come live and work in Aotearoa, New Zealand, because together we can do amazing things.
When I think of New Zealand, I think of a place that is pure and magical, and it's the most beautiful place I've ever seen my entire life.
New Zealand is spectacular. Subhanallah. It's really that piece of heaven that is on earth.
We care for people and our planet and our future generations.
And that comes from a word in Māori that we call kaitiakitanga.
We're on a mission to make better things in a better way and tread more lightly in the way that we make products, to be thoughtful about the environment.
The only way we're going to make positive change in the world is to do things differently, and that's what we try and do.
And our gift to the world is not just our beautiful environment, but all of our talent.
New Zealand embraces and celebrates innovation, whether it be food, but also wines that stand up to the best in the world.
They created a style of Sauvignon Blanc that took the world by storm.
New Zealand is a country rich with creativity, and when you combine that creativity with the power of technology, that creates things that no one could have imagined possible.
New Zealand is right bang in the middle, and I love that very much.
And what we can offer is limitless. Technology is our fastest growing industry.
We've been able to develop boats here in New Zealand that are capable of 4 times wind speed, so we're very much pushing the edge of technology and construction.
And at Google, we love Kiwis because Kiwis have this can-do attitude. You're looking for people who are just going to make things happen.
And my education in New Zealand convinced me that I could achieve anything I wanted to do.
You're taught to question, you're taught to wonder, you're taught to puzzle, to be inspired.
自由なエデュケーションを受けることができて、自由な考えを持つこともできたというふうに感じます。
At my school, we've got kids from all over the world.
160 different languages are spoken in New Zealand.
Opportunities are equal to all.
We're also good at other things, lots of other things. Look at the movies they make.
They do the best visual effects.
他们没有把它当成一个工业产品，而是把它当成了一个艺术品。太棒了。
Our gift to the world is our people, who succeed wherever they go.
To be a Kiwi now is something that I'm very proud of. I'm lucky that I grew up here.
And although we're only small, we believe we could take on the world.
It made me feel there is nothing impossible. It was the window to the world for me in New Zealand.
Be ready to fall in love with this country because it's not a hard task.
What is the most important thing in the world? He tangata, he tangata, he tangata. It is people, it is people, it is people.
Auckland made me brave.
Auckland made me open-minded.
Auckland made me think outside the box.
Auckland made me confident.
Auckland made me adventurous.
Auckland made me proud of who I am.
Auckland made me more connected to the world.
Auckland made me find myself.
Kia ora koutou. Hello and welcome. My name is May Al-Sharif and I'm one of the international managers here at Waipapa Taumata Roa, the University of Auckland. With me today, we have two of our current students, Alexandra and Jeff, and our alumna, Maria. They'll be sharing a little bit about what student life is like at the university. If you have any questions for our panelists, please pop them in the chat and we'll answer as many of them as we can. To kick off, Maria, can you tell us a little bit about where you're from and why you decided to come to the University of Auckland?
Sure, May. Thank you very much for having me today. I'm originally from Mexico City and I came to New Zealand in 2018 to study a Master's of Law, specializing in corporate and commercial law. In 2019, I graduated from this program and I started working as a solicitor at Simpson Grayson, one of the largest law firms in New Zealand. Mexico is one of the largest cities in the world, and that causes a lot of competition between young professionals. At certain level, if you want to grow in your career and become a senior solicitor, you have to study a master's degree in an English-speaking country. Therefore, after 5 years of working in Mexico, I decided to start considering my options. After careful consideration and comparing various countries, I decided to come to New Zealand and the University of Auckland for 3 reasons: quality of life, low pollution levels, and the reputation of the university. These were 3 essential items that convinced me to come to New Zealand.
I'm Alexandra. Thank you for having me. And so I am originally from Poland, and I graduated from New York University in Shanghai for my undergrad diploma. So after graduating, I knew I wanted to continue this global education where I could combine, exploring a new country with like a top-level university. And I heard about a University of Auckland from my friend who had friends here studying. And I started to research more and more about the medical program and the application and what do I need to get here. And I applied, I got in, and started my medical studies this year. Yeah.
And thank you for having me. I'm Jeff. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in the United States. And I'm a marine biologist by trade. I've done most of my education in the United States, but I have also had the opportunity to travel internationally to study in Indonesia and other countries. So when I was shown an opportunity to have a job, to have a PhD research opportunity studying my favorite animals, the octopuses, New Zealand seemed like the right idea. And Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is a dirty steel town with no ocean. So a university that is on an island nation with complete access to the creatures in the ocean as well was undeniable. So that was my main motivation.
Wonderful. And so, Jeff, for you, what was it like? What was your first impression when you landed in Auckland? What can you tell us and walk us through that experience?
Oh, absolutely. After a good 18-hour plane ride, it was quite exciting to see not only like an island nation with, wonderful green and like huge pastures, wonderful forests, but a city center. So it was a background I'm kind of familiar with like a city, but also it's very concentrated, and there was an immense amount of water and wild space that was extremely shocking to me. So as I began to kind of experience Auckland and the surrounding areas, it was quite wonderful because it's a very big contrast.
Yeah, the contrast was huge for you, I imagine, Maria, as well, coming from Mexico City, huge city, to Auckland, which is a slightly smaller city. Can you tell us about your first impression when you landed?
Yeah, absolutely. That has been a massive adjustment. I used to live in a city with more cars than people in this country. So it has been an adjustment. Something really interesting about this experience has been the safety. For me, that has been essential. Using public transport for me now is normal, which has been something that in my previous life in Mexico I never did before. As Jeff said, just walking around parks and enjoying the nature has been fantastic. So I have really enjoyed my life in Auckland. It's a wonderful city with a very beautiful waterfront as well, where you can go and run. I'm a runner, so this has been a privilege.
I think what Maria is saying exactly about the safety of the city was the first thing I experienced as well. And before, I used to live in New York and Shanghai. Both of these cities are very fast paced and very everything is just going so fast and hectic. So I think like the first impression here was how relaxed and easy it was here to adjust. Yeah.
So Maria, you touched a little bit about this and your experience in Auckland City. I'd love to hear from the rest of you about your experiences in Auckland. What are your favorite things to do? What have you done that you've enjoyed? And Jeff, for you, traveling down from the Lee Marine Lab, what do you travel for?
It's a good question. It's a bit of a drive, but it's always worth it because the city has a wonderful waterfront. It has kilometers and kilometers of pathway that you can walk to see the boats, the ocean. The city is right there. But it also has a lot of green space, a lot of parks amidst all the hustle and bustle of a city. It's not to mention the wonderful nightlife, the restaurants, the diverse amount of food. But there's also awesome attractions such as What a Workshop, which does all the movie props for a lot of famous movies, which is always fun. It's like a really cool museum. There's a lot of interactive activities that are highlighted in some of the big city center districts, such as the All Blacks experience. So it's always worth my drive coming down to experience those things.
Yeah. What about you, Alexandra?
So for me, right after I came here, I signed up for sailing classes, so I got to enjoy the water as well. I also play tennis. I play with the tennis team at the university every week, so that's so cool as well to experience. And then the city life, also very fun, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, well, diversity is something that Auckland embraces, and I like very much being walking in the streets and listening to so many languages. It's funny because now as a Spanish speaker, you go on the streets and then you can identify different Spanish accents. So it's just like, this person might be from Colombia, or this person might be from Mexico or Argentina, but also other English accents from around the world. So I've loved that in Auckland we can contact with people from all over the world. Now I have from South Africa, which is super exotic from somebody coming from Mexico.
Yeah, it's awesome, and it's also very welcoming. I mean, the diverse population from everywhere around the world. I joined a Brazilian dance club, which I never would have done in the United States, just because of all the limitations there with regards to work life and how stressful it is. But here, it's such a nice city. It's so relaxed, and everybody has a good work-life balance. And so with a really diverse population like that, kind of activities that were never there for me are now present, and it's so much fun to take part in.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Jeff, because Alexandra also mentioned the tennis club. Yeah. And so the university has over 200 clubs to pick from. Yeah. And so I'd love to hear from you, Maria, about your experience at the university. Did you join any clubs? What was that experience like?
Yes, well, for me, the master's was obviously the main goal, but as well when I came here, I signed up immediately for Auckland Half Marathon. So I came with my partner, and the life-work balance was so great that I was able to join the recreation center and go and train every day. So I will run in the morning in the waterfront next to the ocean, maybe 6-7 kilometers per day, and then go to school, have some classes, and then go back to the recreation center and train there. So this was my best half marathon ever, and it was fantastic because you start from Devonport, which is opposite side from Auckland CBD, and then you cross the Harbour Bridge. So you have a panoramic view of the city when you are running. And it's so encouraging because at that time I was sharing this passion for running with other students as well. So we not only did that, we also went and did the Tongariro crossing, which is in a national park. So we all rented an Airbnb and we just joined this trip. It was a fantastic experience.
Yeah, how long is the drive from Auckland City down to Tongariro?
I will say maybe 2 hours and a half, but I wasn't driving, so I wasn't really sure.
And so for the rest of you, have you traveled around New Zealand at all?
Been to a couple really nice places, mostly in the North Island. I haven't yet to travel to the South Island. I hear that's the best, but the natural landscape is just unbeatable, right? Like, it is phenomenal. So a lot of my trips have to do with hiking, a lot of trails. And so one really nice place is a peninsula called Tauwhanui, which is a wildlife refuge. And so you haven't lived until you kiwi spotted at night to see the little birds that are being rehabilitated there. It's wonderful, very open, very safe, very beautiful. But one of the best trips I've taken was to Hobbiton in Mata Mata. And New Zealand has a reputation for its film locations, and it lives up to the hype. An absolutely wonderful experience of the Shire and wonderful rolling hills, but it's a farm, but it was so worth, again, it was like 2.5 hours of a drive, but it was a beautiful day, beautiful island. It was very different than Auckland, a totally different landscape, but it was so exciting. That was one of my best trips.
Yeah. For me, for mid-semester break, I went with my classmates to Paradise Spring Valley. So we got to pet like baby lions, which was so cute. It was like a 4-hour drive out of Auckland. So we also got to see the landscapes when driving. We stopped in Cambridge and Hamilton. So I also got to explore different cities on the way. And I plan to stay here a little bit over the summer to explore everything else, since I still didn't get that many chances to. So I'm very excited for that as well.
Yeah, there's a lot to see around Auckland, within Auckland, and in the wider New Zealand, North Island and South Island. Thank you guys for sharing those experiences. Jeff, I want to talk a little bit about your experience on the Lee Marine Lab. What is that like? What sort of activities do you do? Can you share a little about that?
Absolutely. So as a marine science student, this is one of the best places that I could have imagined to study. It is a marine lab that is smack on the water, extreme access to the animals I need to study, but also just basic amenities to support their husbandry. So like seawater and nutrition and food, it's all right there. It may be in a rural area, but the lab is by no means rural. It is a fully functioning, wonderful facility. And it is just absolutely breathtaking because the coastline is expansive. The lab is on that coastline, and you are a snorkel or a dive away from, well, for me, collecting octopuses. But it is such a great community because it's everybody with such similar mindsets. But also that diverse background that New Zealand attracts. So you have other Americans, you have Mexicans, you have people from Asia, all over the world, everywhere. And they all have that common interest in marine science. So it's this really unique community of like-minded people that help with other people's research projects. They're not like so centered in their own research, but they go on boats and help out and dive for other people's research to create that really tight-knit community. So not only a wonderful science opportunity, but a wonderful community in itself.
And Alexandra, you're based at the Grafton campus studying medicine, and we've got a question from the audience. They want to know, what is it like studying medicine at the University of Auckland?
Yes, so what I was looking for in the medical program was to build up on my knowledge that I already had from my undergraduate studies. And I think that's exactly what I found here. So for our program, we have a format where we learn module by module. So right now we're doing respiratory module. So that combines, different fields of medicine into one system, studying about one system. And I think that's what makes this program so interesting as well, is because you can build that knowledge step by step, system by system, module by module. We also get to experience clinical skills classes since the very first semester, which I find so helpful as well, where we have patients, actors, so we get to learn all of those practical skills since the very beginning. And it's all happening around Grafton campus as well. So everything is very convenient, close. All of the classes are very close to each other as well. So everything is the same place. At the same time, we have many cafes, restaurants around the campus. So during the breaks, we can just go, enjoy a coffee before the next class. We also have the beautiful Auckland Domain very close by. So whenever I walk back home, I walk through the Domain, which is so beautiful, relaxing as well after the medical classes. So yeah, it's a mix of everything. And I really enjoy, every single day going to lectures, enjoying the classes, having everything in the same place as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And Maria, your program studying law was completely down the hill, away from the Grafton campus. So can you touch a little bit about your experience of studying law?
Absolutely. My experience was very different studying law in New Zealand than in Mexico. In Mexico, I went to a university where the campus was massive, but it was surrounded by the city. And Auckland campus is in the middle of the city. So you have all these different buildings, the library, the lecture buildings, which are fantastic. Classes are very personalized, and you get to talk to the lecturer quite close and often, so they help you with your research and with any questions that you have. The waterfront is not very far away from law school, so conveniently I rented an apartment that was in between of them. So I just walked to school, and in the afternoons I just walked to the waterfront to train or run.
Beautiful. And so that touches a little bit on the student life experience and how you can create that life based on what you're studying, where your classes are. If you could describe your student life experience in 3 words for the audience, what would those 3 words be?
I have to say uninhibited, challenging, and exhilarating. Uninhibited because there are so many opportunities available, both for like fun things to do, but also that work that I do, like there are no limitations, and therefore is challenging because it's up to me to kind of both in the studies ask those questions and to do good work as a PhD student, but also with like my fellow students. It's up to me to kind of like get everybody together, especially in a rural Lee Marine Lab campus, but it's exhilarating. It's always worthwhile, and it's fun. As someone who is not from here and coming, it is such a wonderful and exciting experience and opportunity.
I would say exciting, unpredictable, and eye-opening. Yeah.
Why is it unpredictable?
I think being an international student in general, I feel like it's always an unpredictable journey where you always have to be ready, for new adventures, new experiences, just always be open to experiencing new things, meeting new people. And that, I think, brings that unpredictability factor with it. Yeah.
For me, I would say inspiring, adventurous, and transformative. Inspiring because me coming to New Zealand showed my classmates back home that it's possible to go to a different country where you don't speak the language, in a different type of law jurisdiction, and that proved to them that this can be done and that they shouldn't be hesitant at the time of applying to go to a university overseas where they don't speak English as their main language. It has been very adventurous because I'm now in the other side of the world, very far from home. But as Jeff said, the landscapes here are out of this world. You are going to have so much fun in South Island. It's such a beautiful place full of mountains and beautiful colors that I've never seen before. And transformative in a way because back home I used to work really hard. That's the culture. You will be there from 9 to 9, and there was no time at all to have fun during the week. now I leave work around 6:30, and I have 3 hours to do whatever I want. So that can be go running by the beach or hiking or do something else that gives me and my partner a quality of life that has been transformative for both of us.
Yeah. And I want to hear more about your journey, Maria, into finding a job after completing your program. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Yes. Well, I was supported by the university all the way. I joined a program that was called Work Insight Programs, where they paired me with a lawyer that was working in a commercial law firm. And she taught me about the different positions, what were the areas of expertise. And with all that information and knowledge, then I started applying to positions more or less around halfway in the master's. I got a few calls back, and I was really lucky after my third interview to be seen by a partner that was open-minded and that allowed me to show my skills and experience. I have 5 years of experience back home, but I was really questioning why a law firm in New Zealand will hire a Mexican lawyer to work for them. And fortunately, I learned, thanks to the university, that transferring our skills is possible, and that we as lawyers are trained to understand how the law evolves through our lifetime, because the law that was active a few years ago might not be anymore. So transitioning from one jurisdiction to the other one is not that hard thanks to that. Commercial law, it's all about business. So when I had the interview, of course there were like technical questions, and when I left the interview was just like, I could have answered that in a different way, but they were really open. And now that I've been working there for 4 years, I've met people from South Africa, from China, UK, and we are all part of the same team. They all treat us the same way, and it has been a fantastic experience for me.
Yeah. So you touched a little about the diversity, the cultural diversity of Auckland as a city to study and live. What was that experience like in terms of the difference between the New Zealand culture and the Mexican culture?
Well, I think as a Mexican, we are all very close to our families. We live in very close proximity. Here in Auckland, it's a little bit different. You need to drive a little bit longer to go to places, and that has been very different, but not in a bad way. I just like that there are many more open spaces, and culturally speaking, I don't think there is much difference as well in the sense that everybody's very friendly. And now that I've met more foreigners here, it's super nice to be talking to Brazilians about food and to people from Europe. Everybody's very passionate about that. They all feel very proud about it, but in a way where we can share our cultural background and just make the most of it.
Yeah, and for you, Alexandra, and for you, Jeff, what was the most notable cultural differences that you experienced?
So I also didn't find that many cultural differences. The main thing that I experienced right after coming here would be, I would say that it's more relaxed and easygoing place compared to the places I lived before. So I had to kind of adjust and get used to that aspect as well, in a good way, because I also never realized, how stressed we are in the cities like New York or Shanghai, and there's so much going on. And here you can actually take a breath and take a second for yourself and take it all easier. So I think that was the main difference that I've experienced after coming. Yeah.
I completely agree with you. It's such a different work-life balance that did take some time to adjust. And it just as an American, and you've lived in the United States, it's kind of hustle and bustle, and so I took some time. But the other huge thing that I noticed was driving on the other side of the road, which took some time and practice. But if I can do it, anyone could do it. So that was quite an interesting change. However, one of the things I did want to mention, just cultural, is I think it's really awesome that I think Auckland University, and also New Zealand overall has such an embracing kind of culture of the native peoples. They brought back some of the original language, and I hope to learn more, and but I think the effort is there, and it's very nice to see. So that was quite a pleasant surprise on my arrival.
Yeah. And so for the audience watching, what would be your one piece of advice that you'd give a student considering the University of Auckland?
I would say that you should take the chance. For me, I weighed this decision quite heavily. Like, you have family ties in the United States, you have other work opportunities, and New Zealand, let's face it, is kind of in the middle of the South Pacific, and it's quite isolated and expensive to get to. But the reward is so worth it. It's such a wonderful reward to achieve. At least for me in the sciences, I can't imagine doing anything differently. There were many opportunities to continue my education in the science in the United States, but the amount that I'm getting here is so much more than I would have in the United States. I think it's worth the jump. It's worth living.
Yeah. I would say my advice would be to just stay open, be ready to be challenged, and be comfortable with just being uncomfortable in a new situation and new environment, because it's going to be challenging, obviously, especially for international students. Yeah. You're going to be so far away, but try to take advantage of that uncomfortable situations, of all of those challenges, and then you'll be able to see, how you can grow. And how much you can change thanks to being in such diverse environments. And I think that's the most challenging, but at the same time most rewarding process that you can go through. Yeah.
Well, now after 5 years of living here, I would say do your research, enjoy the journey. It's a marathon. This is going to take time to adjust, to learn a little bit more about the culture, the language, how you will interact with other people that are also in the same situation. And something that happened to me was that when I arrived here, everybody was asking me, why did you come to New Zealand? Like, why New Zealand? And every time you tell the story, it gets better, and you convince yourself. And it's a way of verbalizing as well why you are here, why you decided to take this pathway in your life. And it's very far away from home for sure, but as all of the panelists have mentioned, it's worth it.
Yeah. I would love to hear, how did you guys make friends when you first arrived?
Yeah, so for me, I didn't know anybody before arriving here. And I think the first time I made friends was when I moved into Unilodge, which is the student accommodation, where I lived for 2 months. That was the first time I got the chance to see other students, to meet other students as well. I also joined psychiatry club at our university, where I'm doing social media. So guys, go and follow us. Yeah. I also joined tennis team. That's where I made friends as well. I'm also working as a TAP International Ambassador, Digital International Ambassador, where we got to meet other students as well who work with me. We became really good friends, so we're going to Waiheke Island this weekend. So yeah, lots of different opportunities. I think also just during classes, during lectures, I always made sure to talk to new people, to sit next to somebody I still don't know, to start a conversation and just be open to new people, be brave enough, to start making friends, to just try to make friends in all the different places where you can, join clubs, join orientation week.
I think it's a great point. It's just, you have to say yes. Yeah. You have to remember that a lot of people are in the exact same situation. Yeah. They've moved from very far away, and even if they haven't, if they're from New Zealand, they're very nice. And so it's just put yourself out there to join those opportunities. When I came over, I didn't know anyone either, but I joined a lawn bowling club. So and that got me going out with people, meeting new people on a personal level, and really getting to know those things that people have in common, and it really kind of bolsters your relationships, your social life.
And that's key, right? You need to find your people. And as a law student, they sometimes feel that we are very serious and conservative, and everything needs to be organized. But that works really well. We went to Tongariro and it was a fantastic journey. We were people from Latin America, Brazil, and Mexico, but also people from North Wake and other countries in Europe, from Asia. And then you start talking to each other and you discover that your city is exactly the same as Sao Paulo or Johannesburg or other cities in the world, and then you just combine your knowledge. And that's a privilege that as international students we have, because sometimes as English is not my first language, I was really hesitant to start talking to somebody. I wasn't really sure if the verb was conjugated in the correct way, or what are they going to say about my accent. But in the end you learn that everybody is feeling exactly the same, because some of them are also non-English speakers, and the only language that will join us is English. So just give it a chance, be brave, and see how it goes.
Yeah, and so for our students and prospective students who are considering studying at the university, you talked about the ambassador program as an international student. How can they reach out to you?
So they can find us on the university website in the tab Chat to a Student. It's a tab platform. And just reach out. If you have a question, you can reach out to us, just message us. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. That wraps up our conversation today. Thank you all so very much. Thank you for sharing your personal experiences, your perspectives, and I'm sure our audience have found your insights very, very valuable. So thank you once again. And thank you to our audience for tuning in. If you have any more questions about studying at the University of Auckland, please feel free to reach out to us in the chat or via email.
I'm delighted so many are joining us to learn about studying law at the top-ranked law school in the country, and indeed one of the best law schools in the world. We're ranked 62nd at present. To study law is to learn about the principles that govern society and hopefully make it run more smoothly. In addition, the law school offers a fabulous array of elective or optional courses in areas such as international law, environmental law, Indigenous law, human rights, family law, taxation, and the list goes on. We have a group of exceptionally dedicated law teachers here at the law school who are committed to an engaging and lively classroom experience. Now that the pandemic is relatively under control, all classes are face-to-face, although we continue to supplement classes with engaging online material. I look forward to seeing some of you at the law school when you enrol in the LLB.
My name is Bronwyn, and welcome to the Auckland Law School, where I work as the Associate Dean of Learning and Teaching. Why would you choose to study law? And my top reason would have to be that people who have law degrees have impact, because law touches everything we do, from birth to death and everything we do in between.
Students can specialise in a whole variety of different areas. My own area is international law, but beyond that, there's many areas of private law, domestic law, including such things as family law, criminal law, and dispute resolution.
Other fields that you may be able to get into by studying a Master of Legal Studies, for example in the building industry, would be perhaps to do with building disputes, which is quite an important field, and perhaps contracts, understanding how contracts are drafted and understanding how people get into trouble, to do with professional negligence.
My name is Tony Zing. I'm a student at the Master of Legal Studies program at Auckland Law School. I'm also a corporate manager at a manufacturing company. I really enjoy studying exciting cross-disciplinary legal issues from top experts from New Zealand and overseas. I also study with students from a wide variety of backgrounds. So no matter what undergraduate degree you hold, you can join us on the Master of Legal Studies program.
As Dean of the Faculty of Arts, I'm glad that you are considering studying with us. I'm excited to share more about our world-class programs and opportunities. As the #1 arts faculty in Aotearoa, we pride ourselves on offering the highest quality of teaching and research in social sciences, humanities, languages, Maori studies, and Pacific studies. Our programs are designed to provide you with the skills and knowledge you will need to thrive in today's rapidly changing world.
Introducing the University of Auckland Bachelor of Arts. The Bachelor of Arts is a flexible and fascinating degree with over 35 subject areas called majors to choose from. You can examine social issues, learn a language, study communication, explore cultural perspectives, or question art, philosophy, or history. A standalone BA needs 2 majors, and the combinations can be very exciting. You might want to continue a passion from high school and mix it with something completely new, or just stick to 2 subjects you already love. If you know exactly where you see your future self, you can select 2 complementary majors that bring you closer to your goal. Or combine your BA with another degree and supercharge your potential. You will gain specialist knowledge from your chosen majors, and all BAs help you develop employable skills and give you access to career-focused courses. At the University of Auckland, you'll learn from top academics with the best research and teaching experience in Aotearoa, setting you up for success at home or around the world.
Hi, my name is Gayatri Adi and I study Arts Conjoint at the University of Auckland. I first decided to take Korean as a major at university in high school because I want to learn more about North and South Korea. But now I do Korean because of the people in my class and also because I want to be a future diplomat. So I want to represent New Zealand in Korea in the future.
Kia ora, ko Toma Hou. I'm Tom. I'm studying Māori Studies and Law at Auckland University. I came to Auckland University having studied no Māori 3 years ago, and I thought I'd give it a crack. And I found it to be a very supportive environment. I hope to be able to use this degree to help improve the position of Māori in New Zealand society. And I found that potential employers, people who want to hire me in the future, have been really responsive to that, and they've really valued the fact that I've been able to look at our country through another culture. So that's been very promising in that respect.
Hi, I'm Patricia Pillay and I'm an anthropology student. Anthropology is the study of humans, their culture and human past civilization. We are looking for the old remains of the barracks wall somewhere underneath Albert Park. And we're doing this by using the electrical magnetic resistivity survey to identify any archaeological features that lie underneath here.
Hi, my name is Lena and I'm a second year law and art student at the University of Auckland. I'm double majoring in art history and politics. I'm doing an art and crime paper, and it's actually quite interesting seeing how politics and the economy shape art as well. So if you're keen, join us at the art history department or study a BA at the University of Auckland.
우리는 지금 한국어 배우고 있어요. Come study a BA at the University of Auckland.
10, 9, 8, 7, 5.
What up, everyone? Welcome back to the University of Auckland International Open Week. I'm Alex, a third-year international student from China, and I'm currently doing my third year of accounting and commercial law degree. For some of you, you might recognize me from the tour yesterday to the recreation center. And to those of you, I would like to say thank you so much for coming back. We really do appreciate your support. And for those of you who didn't come yesterday, rest assured, you did not miss much. For today, we are here at the heart of the city campus. So a little bit about our current location. We are in the court in front of the Kate Edgar Student Information Center. And so a little bit about the history of this very building. So Kate Edgar was opened in 2003. It was the first and still is the largest student commons in the whole University of Auckland library system. Right, now a little bit about our location at this place. So this Kate Edgar and this whole court is located at the very center of the city campus, which means that from here you can get to the OGGB, which is that way, within maybe 2 or 3 minutes, to the engineering building, which we'll have a separate tour later, maybe in about 1 or 2 minutes, and it's very close to the science building as well. So that's very good. And now a little bit about what the surrounding in this court. So right here on my left-hand side, your right, we have the Monty Mart, which is essentially a mini supermarket. And by extension, you can basically get whatever you need and want here. And that includes the energy drink, some very decent home meal between lectures or between your study sessions, and some various other things as well. Right over there, we have a very quaint cafe. And they also serve food as well, and as well as the very, very good coffees. Across the coffee, we have the Nido and a taco truck, where you can get very good and very good food at very varieties and at very affordable prices as well. In this whole court, you can see that we have lounges and chairs and tables laying around. So these are all for you to stay here to enjoy the food you just purchased, or simply just hang around with your friends and enjoy your time here at the university. And so this pretty much is the whole outside of Kate Edgar. Now, if you would please follow me, I'd very much like to show you the whole interior of the building. Come with me. Now, careful of the stairs because it's a little bit slippery because of the rain. Okay, now come with me just a little further. So now you can see we're inside of the whole building. Kate Edgar has total 5 levels, and now we're currently at level 0. Now in front of me, sorry, it's a little bit busy at here. It's around exam period. So just in front of me is the student commons, where they have 98 computers just sitting around for you to use. Now, it could get a little bit busy, such as this time around the exam periods. So you're going to need to book one computer to guarantee your study position there. And so we have right here another gateway to either get inside of the Monty Mart or either to exit it. That's your choice. And so this basically sums up the whole level 0. And if you would like to follow me, we're going to take the stairs today to the first floor, where I would like to show you more things, great things about this building. Come with me. Okay, so about the stairs, we do have elevators, don't get me wrong, but purely for the sake of this tour, for you to feel, to immerse yourself into this whole environment, we're taking the stairs. Right, and now here we are at the first floor. Yes, it's quite busy, as you can see. So right here on my left-hand side, we have the university bookstore, where you can get all of your study-related things, such as your notepads, your pens, your etc., the study-related things. And also you can get some textbooks here, as well as other interesting books. And shout out to those future science students. This is the place that you can get your science lab coats. That's very good. So you don't have to look around. It's just here. Just get inside and get one coat. And come with me. There's something I really like to show you. Something that helped me big time in getting my job. Come on. So right here, we have the Career Center, which is short for the Career Development and Employability Services. So this is the place that you can go to get your CV checked, to get your cover letter checked. And I see on the top, they also host various career programs to increase employability in the future, such as the Work Insight program that I just attended last year. So a little bit more about this program. When you get into this program, you'll be assigned to one of the mentors who are currently in practice in their own areas of expertise. Now, though they're addressed as being mentors, normally you'll be their friends by the very end of this program. And so this is the Career Center. And now across the Career Center, we have the esports arena. Okay, so this is half of the arena where they have the big screen TVs connected to either PS5 or Nintendo. I couldn't really tell because I'm not that much of a gamer, but I reckon somewhere in this show can tell. So yeah, but that's our gaming systems. And if you would follow me, we also have the state-of-the-art e-sport competition systems, equipment, and internet connections, I would say. I'm not so sure about this one because I'm not that much of a gamer, but judging by the outlook of the whole space, it is very good. And so if esports and video games is your thing, this is definitely the place that you should go to. And now this is half of the first floor, and there's something else I would really like to show you as well. Come with me. Come on, don't be shy. Just right here, taking a right turn. Oh, left turn actually, from that way. Okay, we have the campus pharmacy. Now this is the place that you can get some medicine. You can get your seasonal flu jabs or even your COVID-19 vaccinations. You can get them here. And though I don't think they have a sign around here, but they have signs laying around the campus saying that you can get a passport photo shot here, which is very good. And now this basically sums up the whole first floor. But we do have a lot to offer in the second floor as well. So please, come with me. Come on. Sorry about all of the walking. It is quite a big building, like I said. And there are our elevators, just to be sure that we have them, all right? Okay, come with me. So it's a little bit long stairs. Now you can already see that we have a student commons, another student commons here. But this is actually called the student kitchen and lounge. Now, for the kitchen part, that is because, okay, I'm going to wait for 1 minute just for you to see the whole thing. Come with me. Hey man, VJ, very nice to meet you. Yes, that's right. So this is, yeah, I'm very good. Thank you so much. So this is VJ. He is from Uniguide, right?
Yes, I am. Yeah, the Uniguide program.
Yes, so he will answer some of your questions that you might be curious. And so actually I was just introducing our student kitchen and lounge here.
Yep.
Yes, so apparently the kitchen part is because we have various microwaves inside of the lounge, which I think you can see from just standing outside of here. And also we have various toasters that we can use for students, totally for free. And then we also have some water fountains that both have water at cold temperature and then those with boiling hot for you to cook your instant cooked noodles and such. And so, wow, yes, thank you so much for making the time to meet with us. So can you introduce yourself a little bit?
So I'm Vijay. I'm a third-year mechatronics engineering student at the University of Auckland.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Right, so do you spend a lot of time here at the
Yes, a lot. So actually I spend most of my time in this room, to be honest.
Do you?
So the toasters and the microwaves that you're talking about, the sinks,
yeah.
I use that stuff all the time. The amount of times I've just put my lunch in the microwave and just warmed it up, lifesaver. My favorite part about this room probably, it's not necessarily a quiet zone. You can socialize, you can relax, you can study as much as you want here, which is probably the best part about the room.
Yeah. I see there's also a pool table inside
Yeah,
of it.
it's super fun to play as well.
The
Yeah,
gentleman's sport. Isn't
exactly.
It?
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. And so, can you tell us a little bit more about this floor? Can you
Yeah.
show us around? a few
Exactly. Yeah,
places?
yeah. So that over here is PB Tech. So so if you're ever in need of like wires or any quick devices, because everything is online these days, PB Tech is an absolute must.
Oh, that's right.
If we go over there, we have the quad, which is like the student, like pretty much like a mall plaza, I guess. So if you have a food court, that's the quad. You can get anything from like restaurants, like Gongcha, drinks, smoothies, and stuff like that.
Wonderful.
Over there, we have the computer space, where you can use a computer or you can actually get assistance with a computer.
Yeah.
Also the student IT hub as well. But yeah, that's level 2.
Right, so yeah, I've heard that the Student IT Hub is where you can actually learn computer, both short-term and long-term. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yep, so I guess one big thing about online learning is that you need to know how to use a computer.
Oh, that's right.
100%. So if you can't use one, that's the place to go. Another thing is that there are offices on this floor, the Information Commons office, where you can actually borrow a computer, and I'm sure that's related to Student IT Hub as well.
Right.
But yeah. I believe it's walk-in, or you can look online as well and book a time to learn where to use.
That's so much
for all ages,
yeah.
or for whatever, if you don't have a computer as well. So yeah.
That's so good, so good. Also, I see this nice little. Is this a cafe or?
Yes, it is the Relax Lounge.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do they offer normally?
I think it's just a normal selection of food. So over here we've got like pastas, sandwich, paninis. I guess just a general mix. So if you're ever hungry, a nice place to get a bite if you don't have your own food to warm up.
Oh, that's
So
wonderful.
yeah, like we have a lot of other cafes as well, like the Shaky Owls Cafe down over there. My favorite cafe, of course.
Wonderful.
But yeah.
Well, that's great. Actually, do you mind if we take a little bit walk just
Yeah,
right over there,
of
just to
course.
show our audience a little bit more about
go
the
for
same
it.
floor? Yeah. So here is the IT hub that we have been talking about.
So yeah, the
Yeah.
IT hub, as it says over here. At university, you'll probably be running a bunch of reports, Word, Excel, crucial skills, Microsoft Office. This is the place to go. Another thing is that if you ever want to learn just how to, I don't know, if you have internet trouble as well, this is the place to go as well. And the computer space over here.
Yeah, so I think by now you must have guessed why this building is called the Information Center. It's because the whole lot of computers sitting inside of this building. So quite literally, the Information Center.
Yeah.
And yeah, you were saying?
Another thing is that level 0, we have the we have a huge study space,
that's
loud
right.
study space. So we
Yeah.
have like computers where you can walk in and just use, or you can go in and actually book online to use. And there's not just computers; there's a bunch of tables. And on level 3, we have the silent study spaces. So if you don't want any noise, if you just want to use a computer in peace, you can use a computer and book a computer for up to 3 hours on level 3.
Wow.
So super handy.
How about that, folks? So actually, I'm glad that you mentioned about the computers. So we just came down from there, and I'm quite curious about, is it hard to book a computer around the exam period?
So I'm not going to lie. I'd
Yeah.
imagine it would be pretty difficult. As I said before, all you need to do is just walk in normally or book online at Book a PC, Information Commons, and you can book one whenever you want for however long you want. During exams, I would recommend you do it a bit earlier, like a few days to a week earlier. It's probably the best thing to do.
Oh, a few days,
But
even.
yeah, but don't be afraid, because if you can't find one, there are other places in the university, in this building as well, where you can go and have like a good study session as well. And actually, if you can't find any other place, you can actually borrow a computer from the Information Commons office here. Actually, I believe it would even be here. They would point you to the right place.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's wonderful. That really is wonderful. So can you tell us a little bit more about what is your favorite spot? To spend your time here. in
Favorite
this building?
spot? Actually, I spend a lot of time either on here, so student hubs again. I don't always study. I kind of just spend my time there, to be honest, or the quad. It's a bit tempting though, all the food options. It's a good way to spend a lot of money. But yeah, either level 2 or level 1. But yeah, so student hub would actually be my go-to, 100%.
Oh, that is wonderful. That really is wonderful. Right, so, okay, now, since we have very limited time, we can only show you so much. But thank you so much for tagging along today, and we really do hope to see you next year. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Peace.
Hi, kia ora. Welcome back to International Open Week. My name is Audrey and I'm an economics student here at the University of Auckland, originally from the United States. Today I'm going to be taking you through the Unleash space, which is here in our Faculty of Engineering building. The Unleash space is a vibrant and welcoming place where students can come study, create, or just hang out. The Unleash space is also home to Velocity, which is an entrepreneurship program here at UOA, which we'll be talking to my friend John about in just a few minutes. So come follow me and we'll head into the Unleash space. Hey John, good to see you.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
So here we are, we're in the Unleash space. This is my good friend John, and he knows a lot more about the Unleash space than I do, so I'll let him take it away.
All right. Kia ora, guys. I'm John, and I come from China. I'm studying marketing and management here. So today I'll just talk to you about two amazing programs that we hold here at Unleash Space, which is Makerspace, and the programs are designed next year, and these programs and become part of the innovation entrepreneurship community. So first, let me tell you about Makerspace. If you want to follow me to the bridge here. As you can see on the right hand side, there's plenty of photo walls, and those are all students who entered the program. Right here is the Makerspace. Let's go. The collaborated build a robot or wearable item or smart mirror or anything else you can imagine. Makerspace have the resource to help you to do it. And you can also learn new skills, meet another makers and mentors, and have fun along the way. I think there are around 5,000 students joining the Makerspace space each year.
Wow.
Yeah, and just to give you some example, if you want to follow me this side. On the shelf here, there's plenty of items that they have designed. So on the third level down there, there's a 3D printed violin, just the orange one. And then there's one of the marshmallow tertiary here, and laser cutter house on the top of the shelf. And just on the other side of the Makerspace, you can see a vending machine right next there. So a funny story about the vending machine. It was broken at the beginning, and then it was completely locked. So the maker member here, they actually broke in the vending machine, fixed it, and now students can actually sell their products in there by scanning the QR code, which is fantastic.
So those are student products.
Yeah,
Cool.
super good. Potential and innovation, and a lot of practice skills here.
Have you ever made anything in the makerspace?
Actually, yes. So that will relate to my second part, which is the Velocity program. So every year when you start the Velocity program, you will have to make a little name tag by using the laser cutter and the laser cutter.
Cool.
Yeah, and I think it's really, really fun. It's one of the most fun experiences I've ever had.
How many people join Velocity every year?
Okay, so that's a tough question. So I would say each year there will be around 60 people apply, but each year we only take around 30 people in the committee and splitting into 4 different subgroups, which I will introduce later on. But yeah, just to finish off this part, everything here is free to use and you can enter anytime you want by just finishing a quiz through Canvas. And there's also another technology tab down at OGGB called 5G Space, Te Ahi Hangaro. You can also use their giant screen there and VR headset. All right.
All right, sounds cool.
Yeah, shall I go to the other side now?
Yeah.
Easy.
I think I should come to the makerspace.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's another makerspace down at the New Market side, which is really, really good.
I live over in Newmarket, so I'll have to check it out for myself.
Yeah. So right here is the bin bag area where you can usually hang out with your friend. As you can see, there is a giant Velocity sign laying on the ground. Really, really cool. So Velocity is the university flagship extracurricular student-led innovation and entrepreneurship program that is internationally recognized. So Velocity helps you to turn your ideas into reality by providing you the challenges, workshop, events, mentoring, and support and funding opportunities. Whether you have an idea for social enterprise, environmental, or tech startup, or product, or services, or anything else that you can create value for opportunities, Velocity can help you to make it happen. To give you an example of the venture that Velocity helped, one of the most famous one is Powered by Proxy, which was acquired by Apple in 2017.
Oh, wow.
So they're founded by 2 engineering students here, and we gave them fundings. Now they're making their business into a wireless charging for iPhone. So right here.
Very cool.
Yeah. And my experience with Velocity started in my second year of university, and where I joined the marketing team. And right now is my 3rd year, which is the second year of Velocity. And I'm right now a marketing lead at the program. So my job, marketing, which is to handle all the promotion for all events, gathering the student community within the university. And some of the key events that I really, really like through my Velocity experience is actually, one of them is the beginning of the year team gather up. So Velocity will pay for us to have some lunch within the team. And my team decided to hang out together. We had a really, really nice lunch. Even though that day was raining like so heavy.
In typical Auckland fashion.
Yeah. And then the other one that I really like was the Velocity camp. So each year there's a big camp that we can all go to. And this year the whole team gathered together. Really, really nice vibes. It's like a one-day getaway from uni, you know?
Where was the camp?
Oh my gosh. I actually...
Off campus.
Don't remember.
Off campus.
Yeah, it's off campus, off the city.
Little retreat for the day. Out of the city for the day, so you could get a little paid retreat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember last year though we went to Tehuia lunch. I think it was a lunch. And fun fact, we have alcohol there. But this year we did not. It's an alcohol-free one. Yeah, it's just really, really fun time. You can hang out with your friends.
That's something that University of Auckland does so well. If you join a club or you're trying to get involved in anything, they have the best gatherings, the best bonding ever. It's always in the first week of classes.
Yeah. And then another 2 events I really liked was the Ideas Challenge and 100K Challenge, which I participate in right now. But to start with is the Ideas Challenge. So in the first semester of the year, the Ideas Challenge will happen around like week 3 or 4-ish. And it's a challenge where you basically need to write up 1,000-word business pitch to talk about anything you want. Like for example, there's business talking about sunscreens, that's like the smallest ones, or one of the smallest ones, and large ship spaceship communication.
Wow.
Yeah, and basically you can get $1,000 for free if you're one of the qualifiers. There's 20,000 in total. Spend that $1,000 however you want, free money.
However,
Yeah.
doesn't even have to be on the idea.
No.
Just $1,000.
Yeah, you can like buy new
Uni
clothes.
student
Yeah.
hack. $1,000
Yes, definitely.
free.
Yeah. And then the other one is the 100K challenge, where you do the same thing as the ideas challenge, but you take further and we'll develop an idea.
Okay.
So once you get qualified, we'll give you the mentorship, the support, the resources to make your idea come true.
Is that what Powered by Proxy was?
Yes,
Part of a
that's the
100K
100K.
challenge.
Yes.
Very cool.
So right now, I'm also one of the qualifiers of the 100K challenge. And
Okay,
yesterday we did-
congratulations.
Thank you. We
So
got
good
the-
luck coming your way.
Well, hopefully. Yeah, yesterday we did the final pitch, so tomorrow is the grand final, so
Okay.
we'll see how that goes.
Good luck.
Yeah,
We're thinking
and
of you.
yeah. All right. So I think if you want to, yeah, and if you come this way now, I'm just. Oh, actually, they're having a meeting right there, so we might want to go around.
Yeah, we'll go this way. I've had a couple club meetings in this space as well. It's just such a great space to collaborate with groups of people, clubs, just your friends. I
Yeah.
mean, it's set up so nicely.
Do you wanna
It's just
sit
so
down here,
beautiful and
or-
sunny in here. Yeah, we can
Sit
sit.
down?
Yeah, let's sit.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'll go in.
All right,
Yeah.
where were we? 100K
Yeah.
challenge.
Yes. We're done with the 100K challenge.
Okay,
so
we're done with 100K
yeah.
challenge.
If you want to know more about more story about Velocity, just feel free to visit our website, which is velocity.auckland.acl.nz, or follow any of our social media, which is Velocity UA on Instagram, Facebook, etc.
Very cool.
And now you can see is where students usually do their group projects. So on the other, so this space usually Velocity use as like event place,
Okay.
where we will use one side as a place to talk to do the mentorship and stuff, and the other side to use for food and like networking for the end of the night. Yeah. That's probably it. And I hope this tour has given you an overview of the Makerspace and Velocity program of the University of Auckland. And this program are open to all uni students. By the way, they're all free to join, just in case you're
And
wondering.
what do you think the easiest way to get involved in? Should I just walk into the Makerspace, or should I follow you guys on Instagram, see you at a club fair?
I say do both of them.
Both of them? All of them?
But if you want, please feel free to come join us. We usually just sitting on the corner table right there, and
Okay.
whenever you want, just pop in and ask us questions. Yeah, and also if you have more questions or want to approach us later on, just feel free to also reach me out
Yeah.
on the social media or WeChat if you want. And I hope you guys enjoy the tour here and have the good time for the rest of the day.
Yeah, thank you so much for
Yeah,
joining me, John.
easy.
It was so great to catch up and hear about the 100K challenge.
Yeah.
Good luck to you. And long live Velocity and the Makerspace. This is one of the newest places on campus, and it is just so beautifully done. So bright, as you can see, so many places to sit with your friends, study, and just collaborate. So I'd highly recommend it as somewhere you can go on campus to just hang out, relax, get away from the city life.
Yeah.
But thank you guys again so much for joining me today at the Makerspace and hearing about Velocity. I hope you are enjoying International Open Week, and we have so much more in store for you. So please tune in again tomorrow. We'll be taking you around Albert Park and a couple other places in the city, so you'll get a better idea of what city campus life is like. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Making a decision about what to study in your tertiary qualification can be very exciting and somewhat challenging. As you're considering going overseas to pursue a degree, you probably have a lot of questions. Will I gain the knowledge and skills that are valued by employers? Will I have opportunities to build my employability outside the classroom? Will I be able to get a rewarding job after I graduate? My name is Ludmilla Barreau, and I'm a career and employability consultant at the University of Auckland. Every day, my dedicated colleagues and I help our international students develop their self-awareness and employability skills and interact with employers. A number of us, including myself, We're international students in different countries, so we fully understand the beauty and also the challenges of this experience. Our highly experienced and dedicated team includes career consultants and employer engagement professionals. Career consultants are people who work with students to help them set ambitious and inspiring career goals and devise realistic action plans. We are more than happy to help you with any stage of the career development process, from understanding what you're interested in to preparing for the final stage of job interviews. Employer engagement professionals act as a bridge between the university and the industry. They build and maintain relationships with major employers, helping our students be clear on employers' expectations and organizing large-scale events in which we bring employers to you. The Career Development and Employability Services team is here to help you connect your studies with your future career. We can support you wherever you are on your journey, from helping you identify your strengths and values to building your career management skills and confidence and connecting you with employers. You can access our free support throughout your studies and for 3 years after graduation. To make the most of what we offer, we suggest that you start using our services as early as possible in your studies. This will allow you to build a solid employability foundation over time and develop career management skills that will serve you long after you graduate. Our online career resources are available 24/7, which means that you can access them when it's convenient and as many times as you need. We ensure that the information is up to date and is presented in a way that facilitates your learning. You can also access the New Zealand Uni Talent Job Board. It has student and graduate opportunities from top employers all in one handy place. You can search and apply for jobs from organizations advertising directly to New Zealand university students and graduates, including graduate and internship positions, full and part-time vacancies, scholarships, and volunteering roles. Every day, we hold dedicated drop-ins to help you make your CV and cover letters impactful and memorable, and truly stand out in that pile of applications. For your convenience, we offer both in-person and virtual options for everything we do, allowing you to fit career development into your busy schedule. Career development is a highly practical matter, so we create opportunities for you to learn, reflect, set personal and professional goals in a highly supportive environment where you get to interact with us and other students. We run different workshops every week and regularly offer new programs and topics, responding to our students' needs and employer feedback. Wherever you are in the process, we've got you covered. From figuring out what you want in life to the practicalities of a job search, we offer workshops that will support your career development. When you feel like you would benefit from more tailored support and a deeper conversation about your career goals and challenges, you can easily book a one-on-one appointment with one of our consultants. It's really important to us that our students in every faculty get tailored support that matches their needs and industry requirements. Just to give you a few recent examples of our faculty initiatives, we've supported undergraduate and postgraduate engineering students through a professional skills program. We've run events and alumni panels for arts students to learn about suitable career options. We've delivered a career support program for our doctoral candidates to help them consider a wide range of career options and articulate the value of their degree. If you decide to join us at the University of Auckland, you'll discover many more targeted initiatives, and I am sure you will find them really helpful. We recognize that international students require additional support to build a network in New Zealand and adapt to new ways of working and connecting with employers. That's why we regularly design and deliver programs that specifically support international students. Let's have a look at just a few examples. The Workplace Insights program is an exciting program designed to help international students learn more about the New Zealand culture and workplace. To help you build your employability and prepare for the transition to the New Zealand workplace, we created a structured program to build meaningful connections between current international students and both alumni and New Zealand employers. At the beginning of the program, students participate in interactive workshops where they meet other program participants. These workshops are designed to help students set appropriate personalized goals for the program and increase their confidence and competence in the area of networking and relationship building. The participants are then partnered with University of Auckland alumni from various industries for mentoring, workplace visits, and helpful feedback for personal and professional development. This program has been shortlisted as a finalist in the prestigious Pioneer Awards 2023 in the employability category. When international students start looking for an internship or a job in New Zealand, they usually focus on creating a strong CV and writing an impactful cover letter. Without a doubt, that's a great start. And that's exactly why we emphasize CV and cover letter writing so much. The reality, though, is that international students need more than that to be successful in their careers. Employers tell us that they expect students and graduates to display cultural awareness, take initiative, approach tasks with a positive attitude, and have strong communication skills. These expectations have been repeatedly confirmed through research and our conversations with international students at the University of Auckland. We have created a tailored program for our international students focused on developing and practicing the employability skills needed not only to get jobs, but also to thrive in them. One of our most popular programs for international students is focused on providing support at every stage of the job search process through a combination of interactive workshops, practical in-depth tutorials, and guest speaker presentations. For those of our students who are planning to stay in New Zealand after graduation, we've created a series in which we have asked experts from various fields and industries to share useful advice and helpful tips on getting ready to start your career in New Zealand. With all the preparation that we've been talking about, you will be ready to meet employers and make a positive first impression on them. We regularly host career expos and employer events, giving you a chance to meet well-known employers, discover new ones, and build important connections in your industry. To ensure that you are confident and ready to meet them, we run preparatory workshops and give you specific advice about what you can do to make the most of each such event. At the Career Development and Employability Services, our goal is to help you build skills, knowledge, and confidence that would allow you to not only do a great job, but also enjoy it. My colleagues and I look forward to welcoming you on campus and helping you discover where you can make an impact. Hello and welcome. My name is Ludmila Barreau. I'm a career consultant at the University of Auckland Career Development and Employability Services. My team and I help our domestic and international students with all things career and employability. Today, I've got two wonderful international students with me that I met through my work. We're meeting in a very different context today. This is really different from our offices. And I'll ask Richard and Pipi to introduce themselves. Richard, we're going to start with you.
Right. Hi guys, I'm Richard. I come from China and I'm in my second year in the University of Auckland studying marketing and management.
You're welcome, Richard. Over to you, Pippi.
Hi, Namila. So I'm Pippi and I'm doing my PhD in population health and I'm during my first year, so I just arrived at the Auckland in April this year. So yeah.
Every time I hear PhD, just these three letters, I just can't help but be really impressed. Actually, with both of you, I know you both have done some really great work. I had the privilege of meeting both of you through my work at the Career Development and Employability Services. And I will just ask you first to share with our future international students how you have used our services and how they've been helpful. Pippi, over to you this time.
Yep. Sure. Yeah, I think I have used all range of your services, I would say. And when I arrived here in Auckland and then at the university, so I came back to university after 10 years break from my master. So when I arrived at the university, I get to see all sorts of cool services, workshop. And then I first joined the mature student workshop that was organized by you and your colleagues from Career Development and Employability Services Unit from UWA. And I didn't know much about your services that time. I just go and join, and then I enjoy it. And then I get to hear all sort of cool tips that time. And at the same time, I get to hear about the stories from other international students that they find it challenging to find jobs, even though they have concrete experience from outside of New Zealand. So I thought that, oh, maybe not for me, because I have 15 years of solid experience in international organization. But then I start to look for the part-time jobs, and I find it very difficult, even though I have this concrete, solid experience in population health. Then I start to reach out to you more, and then start to use all sort of your services. I join all the workshops, and I do like CV check and also like cover letter check with you, and then drop in session, and also I also joined some specific kind of workshop like doing networking in New Zealand, and then how to find jobs. And then I find it very beneficial to me, and I apply all sort of your like suggestion when I find jobs. So now I could find a job which is out of academia from within NGO as a part-time job, and I have to give credit to all of your services. I follow your suggestion or guidance every step that I'm trying to find a job. So yes, so this is my example, and yeah, so I have to give credits to your help throughout this journey.
Thank you so much, Pippi, and I'll definitely pass that on to my colleagues as well. I know you've been a very active participant in all that we do. I think what I would like to comment on here is your openness and your attitude. At some point you said, I was not quite sure what this is, what you do. I was here, the service is available, I'll give it a try. And also your journey in general, coming with as much experience as you had at the beginning, but coming in an entirely different context, in a different, much smaller labor market, you kind of felt like you needed to pick up those skills, especially networking. So kudos to you, you've done really well.
Thank you so much.
Richard, how have you used the career development services at the university?
I think my CDES definitely has a lot to offer, and I've benefited quite a lot in my past 2 years in the university. I remember the first program I was a part of was called the Workplace Insight program. And that was great, where all these international students, we got grouped and we got put to different business, and we got into their office. I remember it was led by you. We got into their office and get to chat with employers and staff members over there. Really get to know how people work here in a small business in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, that was actually my first ever contact with the New Zealand business that's in depth, and that is not hospitality. Yeah, as a high school student, you always work in hospitality or retail, but get to know these different business sectors in New Zealand definitely benefited me quite a lot in terms of understanding how it's like in the different areas in New Zealand business.
I certainly remember you, Richard, in that first program and how keen you were. I believe you were a first-year student at the time, weren't you?
Yes, yeah.
When you got to see a different side of business, so as you said, quite a change from your typical part-time jobs, was there anything in particular that stood out to you about the culture, the way of working, the business itself that you'd like to share with us today?
Yes, definitely. So I think what I picked up through these programs, also through my experience working in New Zealand, I found out slowly that people are quite chill here. It's not always a big deal all the time. I know sometimes in my home country, when things get really stressful, it's quite a lot of pressure on the staff members. But here, everyone's so supportive and people care about who you are as a person, and people care about, if you are actually enjoying your work. Okay. And just be yourself, be authentic, speak up when you need to, and just keep the hard work. You'll do fine in New Zealand.
Oh, that's lovely. Chill, be authentic. I love all those words. Good to hear your perception of the culture in the workplace. Pippi, you've been here for a bit, and I know that PhD in itself is a journey. It's not easy. What have you noticed about the culture or the workplace that kind of stands out to you? Like, oh wow, this is different. This is something I didn't think of before. This is something I needed to adapt to.
Yeah, definitely there is a big difference. And one perspective is that from where I come and from the way that we work in different organizations, we focus on to get things done. So to get things done within the timeline and so on. And just like Richard said here, people care about your well-being, which is great, I think. Yeah, we need to get things done, but at the same time, as a group or as a team, rather than someone taking the credit. So it's more like helping each other among the team member, and they do care about well-being. So there is a balance between to get things done, and as well as your own well-being, and then as a teamwork, recognizing as a teamwork. I think this is really cool thing for New Zealand context.
Thank you so much, both of you, for sharing this. So I'm hearing collaboration, well-being, chill, really like the word, authenticity. Quite a nice picture of the New Zealand workplace. That's definitely how I've experienced all of my workplaces here, I would say. You've been in New Zealand for a bit and you've done really well. I know that both of you have used our service and all the other things that the university has to offer. If you were to talk to our prospective international students, people who will at some point come to New Zealand to study at the University of Auckland, what would be some specific advice you'd give them, especially considering career development and employability? Richard, would you like to share first?
Yes, sure. I would say I've got 3 tips here actually. First one would be have an open mindset. So I think having an open mindset has really helped me to open many doors here, which means what I mean by having an open mindset is to always be curious, always trying to understand people, understand the situation, rather than judge it at the first place. So in this way, you actually start to learn new things and start to realize the difference in your situations and start to pick up those kind of nuance, which is really great. And also, it also helped me to accept both the host country culture and home country culture of mine, rather than compete priorities between them, but instead accept them both. Yeah.
Right.
And if I could carry on to the next one,
go for it.
My second tip would be get yourself out there, because I think, in my opinion, working in any business is about dealing with people, it's about working with people. And we got to, as a university student and the international student, we got to practice our skills of working with people. And for example, attend club activities, go to different events, and just meet people from different backgrounds, and that really helped me to understand people's difference and be able to talk to them all, and which will be really beneficial to all the students when they get to workplace.
Yeah.
And
your third one. Yeah, go for it.
And the last one is to invest in yourself. So I think these tips is really applicable to all the students out there, but especially for international students. We have to admit we got some weak point that is not as good as the local students to some way. For example, the way we speak, not the way we speak, but the way we speak English sometimes if you come from a non-English speaking country. And myself have been really actively working on all my weaknesses in my past 5 years here in New Zealand. So I've been keeping a vocabulary book, and I try to put stuff on it every single day. And I've been doing that for the past 5 years, and I could really tell the benefit it has given to me. And it's that incremental change bit by bit. You may not see a result straight away, but as long as you are focusing in the long term, you know what you need to improve on and you're focusing on it, that result will eventually come back to you.
Richard, you should be a motivational speaker on like TED Talks or something. Very well thought out tips. Thank you so much for sharing. I particularly thought about putting yourself out there, and how, from what I know about you, you are the embodiment of that. How you've done that yourself, especially with your most recent LinkedIn success where you've gone viral. Would you like to share that with our viewers? I think it's a pretty cool story.
Yeah, thanks Ludmila. I wouldn't say I've gone viral on LinkedIn, but I got quite a bit of reactions for one of my posts on LinkedIn where I offered students to come to my flat to take free professional headshots for LinkedIn. And I think it's the idea that you offer people something for free and without asking any return. People liked it, and that's what people need in a business setting, that you help each other out. And I didn't think much before I do it, but then I got lots of replies from students, and not only students, there were also professionals, there were businesses came to me and asked to pay me. And so what I realized is when you are trying to help people out, you will get something back to yourself, although you may not see it at the first, but
That's a really lovely story, Richard. Thank you so much. I was really impressed when I saw that post, all the lovely work you're doing. I think it really ties in your tip of putting yourself out there and also developing your communication skills. I really loved what you said about all work that we do as working with people. And I think that's where I see in my work, international students sometimes overemphasize hard skills, technical skills. They are often really, really good at those. And that's where developing your communication skills, your presence in the community really helps. It makes you stand out, but it also makes you more known to the labor market, your prospective labor market. Thanks for sharing that. Pipi, what would you suggest? What's your advice for our prospective students?
Yeah, well, first of all, from my experience, when we arrive at the university, it could be a little bit overwhelming. Like you come from outside and then you get to settle here, you have to study and so on. But I would suggest that they should start come and see you from the as soon as possible, because during the workshop that I could see some of the international students who are at their final year and the first time coming to the CDS workshop, and then they already got stressed, like whether they will get a job or not. So like we discussed, there is a difference between the international gacha and the New Zealand work gacha. So it's important that we understand the differences, and then we be prepared, like Richard said, early enough. So it would be good that all the international students could give some time to come and see you at the CDS. And the second thing is what I learned about the New Zealand workplace is, yes, there is some flexibility and well-being, but at the same time there is a pragmatism that it's not like they are giving you like a lot of freedom and then you don't finish work, but they still know it. But the New Zealand workplace kind of value the ownership of your own work rather than somebody is closely supervising it. So we should be aware of that culture, and so that by the time when they expect you to finish something, you finish the work like independently rather than like someone is closely supervising it. So I think the international students should be aware of those things. And the third thing is about networking. So similar to what Richard said, put yourself out there. So I mean, to myself it's a bit challenging because I thought that I applying for jobs and I will get jobs, which is not the case from my experience. So I follow your advice that once you know, so you need to make connection on the LinkedIn, and then before we send the invite, we should introduce ourselves with message.
Correct.
So yeah, so I use that, and when I see this job opportunity come up, and I try to see who posted that job, and so I try to look for the LinkedIn profile of my potential supervisor, and I try to reach out to her through the LinkedIn message, trying to connect, and then started with the informal chat, which I have never done in my previous work experience. So I definitely follow your advice, and then work on it, and then it works. And then only after they know you, so they try to call you for the interview. Of course, I consult with you for my CV and cover letter, but at the same time, networking is very important. So I think it's very important to build a network here in New Zealand if you like to have a job and a good career here in New Zealand. Yeah, those are my advice.
Thank you. Thanks so much. And thank you for mentioning networking. I was hoping you'd bring that up because I think what is different in New Zealand compared to many cultures where students come from is that it's really important for people to know who you are. And I do hear that sometimes, might have heard it from both of you and other students, that I don't know anyone, I don't have a network in New Zealand. The good thing is that New Zealand is a beautiful country to develop your network in, as you both know. People don't think of you as an outsider, as somebody who doesn't understand the culture, especially if you're curious. If you introduce yourself, people are willing to share their knowledge, share their expertise, and that's what you've done beautifully, Pippi. And thank you so much for mentioning coming to see us at the CEDAS early. We've got a whole team, and yeah, we'd rather see our students, especially international students, early rather than late, because career development and employability, it's a process. Definitely takes quite a bit of time. And speaking of that process, obviously things change and there's quite a shift in your mind. As you said, you become more open-minded, you view things differently. If you think back to when you started studying at university compared to now, in your thinking about careers, jobs, in employability, what has shifted? What's changed for you?
Yeah.
You seem really keen, Richard. You're like keen to answer that.
I'll go first.
Yeah, go for it.
To be honest, I didn't have much idea about what is working like before coming to university. And through the last 2 years, I've built quite a different worldview on that. So I used to think it's all about hard skill. I always liked videography and photography, so I've always been studying how to make films, to take photos online. And after doing that myself at university, I realized it's not just about those hard skills, it's about those soft skills, how you talk to your people, how to talk to your clients, and how to make people feel comfortable when they are there. It's just as difficult, if it's not more difficult. So it's definitely those kind of soft skills make you stand out when it comes to employability and working in New Zealand. On top of that, I think it's also about the complexity of the workplace, that how much I understand of it. Because before I would just possess a really simple and pure thoughts on it, which is, you go to work every day, you're just focusing on tasks, but it's definitely more than that. It's about connecting the dots. It's about, building rapport with people, building relationship, nurturing a long-term relationship with people. And those kind of more in-depth complexity at workplace is really something that students need to learn that slowly and get themselves in the situation first and learn from doing it, not just looking at it from the outside.
Thanks so much. I feel like you can take my job now. You've said all the right things. It's amazing how much you've learned. Thank you for talking about hard skills, soft skills. I like to call soft skills power skills because, as you said, that's what truly makes you be, part of that complex puzzle. Pippi, what about you? What's shifted for you?
Yes. Firstly, I would resonate with what Richard said. I think I came to understand that what is lacking with me, those soft skills, right? So like those soft skills, like communication, networking skill. I did some part in my previous job, but I maybe I did not appreciate this much before I come to I'm coming to New Zealand. I appreciate those soft skills more, and then I try to develop those skills more, and in addition to those technical skills at my work. So previously I forgot to appreciate them, so I think this is the key thing. And secondly, I'm learning how to balance between my study and also my work, part-time work. This is about balancing, because previously I worked for full-time, and then I can go back home after my work and I can relax. But here, working with doing my study, PhD, and also working part-time, so it's a little bit of balancing. So I'm learning about it, and as you said, this is a career development journey. So I keep seeing all those students consultant, or drop-in session, or also with you, so to get practical advice on balancing those things as a student while working for part-time. And I believe that because I work out of academia now with NGOs, and I wanted to get a job out of academia because I want to link that job with my post-study work, so that I can open up more opportunities and also open to the environment out of academia. So I really like this job, and I thanks to Lumila and the team for guiding me throughout this journey to get this job. Yeah.
It's our pleasure, Pippi. I'm loving your growth mindset and your focus on development, how it's a journey. It never ends, really. Thank you so much to both of you, Pippi and Richard. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. Good luck with everything. More viral posts on LinkedIn from both of you. Thank you so much for watching us.